And we are back with segment 2 of the Remax Magnolia Show. I'm Curtis Pope, and of course we have Paul with us today, and we're also talking about modular homes. Now, quick question for you. We went through that whole tiny house craze a few years ago, and I guess that would be a competition for modular homes, but it seems like the tiny home fad is kind of going bye-bye.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring it up. We get asked that all the time. Oh, Hewing House, that's awesome. You guys do tiny homes. We don't. Tiny homes are on wheels. That's, from our perspective, that is a very different style of building than what we do. It's, there is a CSA approval for that, and they've got their own, certifications, but that is on wheels. It is a mobile home. It's more in that RV sector. And I think it's not that it's disappearing, but it may be. Nobody knows what to do with them. Nobody knows where you can park them. Like, you can't just have that on a residential lot. What we do in that modular space is, like, this is a residential build. This can go on a residential lot. It's a permanent home that goes on concrete foundation that is using city services. We're often, most of the time, we're hooking up to, city septic, power, water, sewer. And then in our fact, we also get to, build a little bit of that off-grid side of things too. Hey, we have this property up north, and it's, there's no, you can drill a well and you can do septic, but we got to work with solar or water collection. There's different things, but that's one of the big things with tiny homes compared to what we do is, we're not on wheels. Even though we deliver it on wheels, it comes off of there with a crane and lands on foundation.
Yeah, I just don't think me and my wife, I don't think she likes me that much after 24 years. I think 300 square feet wouldn't be enough for us.
Yeah, I know. The little bunkie up top, you can sleep in the little bunkie and wake up if you hear something outside and whack your head on the ceiling. So, no, it's good. It's good.
Cool. I guess I'd like to hear more about Hewing House and the product and your homes and everything else.
Yeah, so we've been building out of Chilliwack, for Fraser Valley. I live in Abbotsford. Lots of our team is from the Valley. We started 3 years ago, and it's been really interesting. The goal was, could we sell 10 homes in a year? Like, could we get to the point where we sell 10 homes? How cool would that be? And it took us a year and a half to accomplish that. And so last year we built in 2023, 15 homes, 13, 14, 15 homes. I always separate that out because we did a couple smaller builds like offices and things like that. We count those. And then this year we've actually gotten to a new warehouse. We had to make the leap because we just couldn't keep up with the demand. And we are now into a space that we can push into that 20, 25, 30 homes a year. Really depends on the size of builds that come in from sales side of things. We can build, I could build 300 square foot homes or one 900 square foot home, so does that count as 4 or 3? It's one of those things. Yeah. So it depends on what comes through the process. But yeah, it's been really good. Our team is growing. We started with, 4 of us, and now we're up to 10, 11, 12. And the scaling side of our business is really exciting. Adding in skilled trades into our warehouse, bringing on a red seal, like I was talking about, a red seal plumber and electrician. Those are trades that we need in our world. And then high-end carpenters, being able to go from framing to finishing, to doing cladding on the walls, to working with insulation and working with roof. Like, being able to do a little bit of everything is really cool.
Finishing carpenters.
Yep, you need versatile guys. But it's also interesting. We just, about a month ago, we dealt with the cold weather outside and the snow. Our shop was kind of nice in there, and guys are working away. So there's some pros to working in a warehouse, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure. Cool. Let's talk foundations a bit. Yeah.
So typically there's 4 standard foundations that you would find with any home. This isn't particular to ours. You would see a slab on grade. So this is literally just a layer of concrete, and you build a home on top of that. Crawl space would be one. So you're still using concrete and a short little foundation, and then a full basement, concrete again. And then the 4th one is screw piles, helical piles is what they're called in the industry. And we've worked with all of them. Our recommendation would be, a small crawl space is an amazing way to do it. We can take that mechanical room and put that into a crawl space. So now it creates more space, if we're talking about living in 300, 400 square feet, every inch counts. And then from there, Yeah, we've done full foundations. We have an awesome build going up Northern Island that's going to have a full basement down below, garage doors, and they're going to park underneath, and then their home is up top. And yeah, it's a 700 square foot home with a big deck. It's going to be a really cool build that overlooks the ocean. So yeah, we've seen all different types of foundations. We've worked with services that, again, from the city and also off grid stuff. We've shipped homes, Northern Island, Northern BC. We've got homes down into the U.S., into Texas, Oregon, Washington. We're working on a couple different projects in Nelson and another bigger project in Texas. And so yeah, we're growing. We want to be able to support the local market for sure. And again, like we had talked about the zoning changes, and with what's coming down in Vancouver, and doing the laneway homes is a big piece of our future in there, and being able to tackle how do we get through that permit process so that what we can do can help residents in that area. The nice thing, again, building a modular home, you're not disrupting your neighbors. It's a huge part of why people love what we're doing, because we'll be on site for foundation, maybe a week or two, and then we're going to be there for 3 or 4 days, and your home is done. It's move-in ready. So that's a really big part of what we do, and of why people really are attracted to our system and what we can offer.
Yeah, especially in somewhere like Vancouver, where it'd just be a nightmare building.
Oh, yeah, and then you're just dealing with trades and not showing up, and I got to ship this, and the truck can't get in here, and the traffic, and my plumber didn't show up, and you're hearing hammering and saws for 8, 9 months, a year and a half. Here, if you could have a home in there and be done in a couple of weeks, I think everybody would be pumped about that. So yeah, it's really fun.
Cool. So you mentioned slab foundation. So cross-laminated timber on a slab foundation?
Yeah, so the bottom of our home, the structure of our home is built on a CLT platform, cross-laminated timber. It's mass timber. It's a sustainable product coming out of Northern BC. We have actually done the very first build that we did on a slab on grade, and so we dropped that down. We built plates on top of the slab, concrete slab, and insulated it, and then our home went right on there.
Oh, okay.
The interesting part about that is you still have to deal with P-traps.
Do you have a curb on the concrete?
There's a tiny curb.
Okay.
Yep, just a tiny, we did a 3-inch curb, but you still have to deal with P-traps in your toilets and stuff like that. So we had to lift the bathrooms in that unit. The bathrooms they had a little tiny step up. So it's not ideal. Ideal would be foundation, like a crawl space. Short crawl space is ideal.
Yeah.
Yep, ideal. Well, I think the other major part for our business would be transportation. That's one of those things when we're dealing with, a modular home. Like, how do you get it to my site? Quite often not quite often, every time we're going to be using cranes out of our warehouse and cranes on site, shipping down the road. That is one of the, things that we can't build things really tall. There's enough people hitting all the overpasses from here to Vancouver. We're trying not to be one of those companies. And so, yeah, we build to what we can put on the road, as wide as we can go on the road. And so you're kind of restricted in that on the size of unit that you can build. But if you want to add, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units, we did a 1,800 square feet unit home in Tofino. That was built out of 7 modular pieces. And when you walk in, and when it's all stitched together, you wouldn't know that there was different units, shipped together down the Highway 1. Did
those get barged over, or?
Nope, that was BC Ferries.
Oh, nice.
Yep,
okay.
we can roll right on there. They will be specific about when we can go on the ferry. High tide, low tide. They have different rules, and they want big, heavy trucks, on boats at certain times. But once you get a unit over to the island and or even a smaller Gulf island, it's as long as we can get to the site and the crane can get fairly close, we can deliver a home pretty much anywhere.
There's some windy roads going down to Nelson or Tofino.
Yeah, there is that road. That road is a wild road. That trip is kind of fun. It's a full day just in travel. But one day in travel and a couple days craning, and off you go.
It worked out pretty well, that project.
Project was beautiful. We actually did another one right across the street from it, a few months later. And Tofino's a cool little place.
Yeah. Looks like you had a good time there.
Yeah, it was good.
Going the whole crew.
Oh yeah, we got everybody on it, and you got to feed the guys.
Yeah.
That's the trick. That's a trick when you're working on site. Make sure that they're fed and not thirsty, and everybody will keep on working in happy ways.
Yeah, cool.
Very cool. Now, quick question for you, though, as we get ready to wrap up. Now, again, with modular homes, I guess there must be a high level of ability to customize for your clients.
Yep. I think that's a really cool part of what we do. We have a set base of the shape that we can work within, and then and we offer, hey, here's our kitchens, but we let people choose their colors, choose their exterior. We give them all the choices that we have in our warehouse for those opportunities, but then they can customize it themselves. Yeah, I like this color, I like how it goes with that and with that, so it feels still like their own. We're not forcing them into this build with that color, that type of finish. And so it's a nice piece that we do, is you still get to choose how you want your home to look, but it just has to work within our way of building and way of lifting and the way that we deliver a unit.
Very cool. Now, if people want more information, they want to see what you do, you must have a website.
Yeah, hewinghouse.com. So Hewing is Hewing, and then house is Haus. So a little bit different, a little play on there, a little German touch there for in modular really come out of Europe. So, we're trying to just do a little nod of the cap. So there you go, hewinghouse.com.
Very cool. Now, Paul, do you have any listings to talk about or anything like that before we go?
Let's do Zilla's Donuts. So
right, there you go.
We got Zilla's Donuts still for sale, up for grabs. Based in Abbotsford, custom donuts.
Great donuts.
The whole business is for sale, because that place is unreal.
I know.
You've been there, have you?
Well, I don't know. I think I've bought enough donuts that maybe I already own it. I think that place is the best.
You should have shares at least.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right. And of course, that listing's up on the website and everything else.
That's right, yeah.
And of course, you have that great space in the window of the office. If anybody wants to check it, you got all the listings there.
To the front,
It's like beautiful. So yeah, just check out the office. You guys are where again? First and James?
First and James, that's right.
In Mission. Perfect. All right. And if people want more information, again, you go to RemaxMagnoliaRealty.com.
That's it.
I got it. And join us again next week when we will talk real estate in order to unlock your real estate potential on a show where real estate is maximized. Thanks for listening.